Optic having so much success as well is like we talked a lot about chemistry in this event and teams.
Yeah.
You look at like natural tendencies of the players on Optic, they all interact so well together with the way that they see the game, the way that they read the game. It's like Bound, like we're saying, he's a frontline player. You've got a player like Formal outputting damage behind him. You've got Renegade who's going to play a different angle, look to create an angle himself, and Lqgend who just likes to take a 1v1 and be kind of a little bit of a hammer when it comes to those individual fights. It's a natural chemistry where no one really has to overthink things too much because naturally their playstyles mesh so well together.
We saw the second best of 7, and I have so much I want to talk about on that graphic. All right, first off, FaZe, you got to win your Slayers if you expect to win this tournament. There's 3 of them in best of 7, obviously, but the new map mode combinations are what are going to keep you in this series. Optic have been vocal about how frustrating some of them are and how they do not favor them over the other ones. We saw how the Origin CTF was too late into the series for them to get into that series correctly. You saw game 2 is going to be Origin Slayer, an opportunity. CTF Aquarius, something that they beat down good teams on. FaZe does, I'm sorry. Another opportunity. You see game 6 as well is going to be Fortress Bomb. Each of those games are going to be how FaZe can win this tournament. But Optic Gaming figuring out a way to stay in this series. By the time Origin CTF came up last time, it was too late. It was a matter of when is this series going to end, not if it's going to end in Optic's favor.
Indeed, you are ever so right there, Wes, and I cannot wait to see what happens because hopefully this will be a back and forth series like we expected from Arlington. I expect it this time around here. Can FaZe Clan pick themselves up off the floor? They have one more to do it. Or will Optic Gaming just continue on that stride and just unbelievably good Halo that we're witnessing here this weekend? Well, folks, we are ready to go. The Grand Finals reset is ready, and I am so excited to hand on over to Onset and Brav for one more time.
Let's do it one more time. Let's see what happens in this second best of 7. Let's take a look at the map records then. Just to reiterate, if you're watching for the first time, you've been drawn in by the noise coming here from the stage, and you're watching some Halo for the first time. This is now a single best of 7 to decide who becomes the champion here at the HCS Open in Dallas at DreamHack. Quite simply, win the best of 7, you will be champions. Andy, what are you seeing from these map records between FaZe and Optic?
Tell you what, that game number 1 is so important for FaZe Clan for obvious reasons. They might have a winning record, but Optic Gaming's winning record is even stronger. The reason that game 1's important, I think they need belief, they need hope. Let's not forget, when we went into game number 1 in Arlington, Shopify was able to take game number 1. That gave them the gas to at least send the series to 7 games. And I think a lot of people are wondering, even though we saw moments of brilliance from FaZe in that game number 4, question is, do they have the gas in the tank to play another best of 7? We're about to find out here with this game number 1.
Well, the great news for FaZe is the fact that because they came from that winner's side, they are still in this grand final. They still have a chance to call themselves champions, but Optic Gaming will be full of momentum and full of energy heading towards this second best of 7, knowing that they could possibly become champions. But it's going to be 2 down off the rip here for Optic. FaZe seem to be just a little bit more relaxed.
Right, welcome along to your second best of 7 here. Nice work.
Suppressed it.
Outdone there by Lqgend, and a kill looked like he was going to get for free. 2 dead here for FaZe Clan with the camo popping, but welcome along here to your second best of 7. We hope you got your snacks, your drinks, and you're locked in for even more Sunday Night Halo.
Bound was last player alive there, and TriPPPeY was able to steal the camo away. So a great start to this game coming in from FaZe. They had control of the A and C strongholds at the end of the map and were scoring momentarily. They have given up A as the respawns now come in for Optic, but with the camo in their hands, they should be able to get into a position where they can put some pressure onto the Optic members, pick up a couple of kills, and look to recapture one of these strongholds.
Still 2 dead for FaZe, and Optic still scoring as they will now go into the lead here. And TriPPPeY do whatever he can with the camo, but he's largely been limited to just nest and C-plat angles.
Yeah, Optic got out a little bit too easily towards B there. Val will find one, and TriPPPeY now has to kind of engage once his shields have come back. Val will pick up a second one as well, and finally, methodically, FaZe can start to move towards B. There is another player still alive here that's going to be Formal. And Formal at the back of B is being an absolute nuisance, but those shots from TriPPPeY were so important to win. Bound is on the pillars. TriPPPeY with some more good shots, but not as good as Bounds. Trade will come in though, but still no conversion here on B, and Optic have moved towards C.
Those 1v1s will continue to be so important. They were so important in the first series, and that's twice now that you've seen players from FaZe in battles they could have won, but an Optic player answers back. However, FaZe Clan now scoring with an AB hold.
Another kill for Falcated as well, just taking down Formal. UT is up as well. Two players going to try and force their way towards B here for Optic. One on the pillars and one up on the nest. Val will be able to pop that Q2 if he wants to, just to give himself an out should it be required. Renegade take him down. Great shots coming in from him, but elsewhere, Optic are making the push onto A and will be able to flip this, but a 42-42 scoreline is where we find ourselves as Optic start to score again.
Yeah, very nice comeback there from FaZe. They were trailing by about double. However, with a 20-point run, that brings them right back into the game. However, on the back foot yet again.
Just to explain once again, if you're walking by, you're watching Halo for the first time, the way that Strongholds works, control 2 or more of those Strongholds, get them in your control, you will be scoring. If you get all 3, you'll be scoring even quicker. As Renegade find himself a camo.
Oh! A little bit of a surprising zoom in there, but not to worry. He will get the killjoy, ending Falcated spree. Of course, that spree a large part of why FaZe was able to get back in this game, but now it's Optic still with the AC hold. They maintain, and Renegade with a sniper rifle in hand.
Yeah, really big reset there as well. On to C, keeps them scoring, and now they're almost doubling the score of FaZe. 3 dead for FaZe, and a snipe in the hands of Renegade. Knowing that FaZe have to move towards one of these strongholds, you get the feeling we might have some headshots in our future.
They will get B, and he immediately rotates because he knows that the only push might be coming from dummies in top mid, and he guessed right. Good comms here from Optic Gaming as Renegade will lock down top tower.
Penguin manages to find one. Suppress being a real nuisance, and Penguin will actually turn that into 2.
That snipe blade.
FaZe will be able to flip C, but the respawn is from Optic already onto A. One thing I'm just worried a little bit about here from FaZe is a little bit slow to progress up the map once they get a couple of kills. They're letting Optic challenge and defend the second stronghold they have control of.
Yeah, it feels like if there is any opening and remaining damage, the first spawners are not taking any advantage of it. They're really being forced to wait for each other, which, you know, at certain times is a necessary strategy, but you certainly don't want it to be the standard case. You want it to be the exception in a game, not the rule.
3 dead here for Optic Gaming. Lqgend was last alive. Manages to survive. And now B, having been taken, A is going to be flipped here by FaZe as well. Flank coming in from Suppress, but just a little bit aggressive there, overly aggressive. As Optic did have 3 members on the map, stacked up in and around C as they tried to slow the scoring here from FaZe.
Bound just flies around. You can just tell that Trip wasn't even ready for that rat tunnel angle, but Bound just flies off of the cuts G-slide, gets that angle, and now, once again, gets all the way to A, and it will now be AC hold. They continue scoring at the 85 mark.
TriPPPeY and Pznguin pick up a couple of kills though. It's 2 dead for Optic Gaming. Former will find 1. As Val tries to finish off a couple of kills here and flip C back into the control of FaZe Clan. But even though they're inside, they've got to worry about Formal. FaZe doing a really good job there actually to flush Formal out of the tower and make sure that he can't get a cheeky reset and keep that score in their favor. 3 dead, maybe even 4 dead here for Optic Gaming, and FaZe seem to have calmed down and seem to have found some rhythm in their gameplay here on Strongholds.
Very good timing as well. Look, still 2 dead as they continue to stack. Might lose B here, but they will flip A, so will still be an AC hold for FaZe, and most importantly for them, they are still very much in this game. They only trail by 8.
Might be a flip of the score here. Optic know they don't have camo as well. They're playing for A. Pznguin is looking to make sure that there's nobody being sneaky in and around B. Instead, he's going to find a couple of players in front of them. There's Lqgend at the back of green as well. But he's going to be, excuse me, it was Bound who's at the back of B. He gets taken down, so B will get flipped pretty convincingly here, and it will be a lead change as FaZe will start to show a little bit of life here. C being flipped by Optic. Pznguin trying to make the move. Look at Renegade. Towards A. Renegade so sneaky, so elusive. Gets the kill and the reset on A. Brilliance from Renegade.
Renegade just tucks the knees together and looks like a stone pillar. Does not get spotted out. That will play spoiler to just delay the A flip. Eventually a Lqgend taken out as well, so a momentary man advantage for just a second. And if Bound wins this one in back A, things are going to get messy. 3 dead for FaZe.
Double kill for Bound, and again there was a reset on that stronghold in all of that carnage. Pznguin now trapped at the back of B. He's going to be off the map. It was 3 dead momentarily for FaZe. They're all respawning around C. The double cap still being held here by Optic, but this is a tight game. But Lqgend can make it a little bit more comfortable if he can hit a couple of bodies or even a couple of visors with the bullets from this sniper rifle.
What a response from Optic. The fact that we got to see that first-person POV on what Renegade did. Look at the domino effect of Renegade staying alive at the edge of Rat Tunnel and what happens thereafter. Optic Gaming has had control of the game since that moment. In a big 1v1, catching FaZe off guard.
It's been a game of double caps so far. Nobody's been able to get enough control and enough consecutive kills to look to secure a triple cap where we really will see the score get out of hand. Been more of a chess match Then a checkers one between the two teams. Renegade finds a kill himself. Good damage coming out here from TriPPPeY. Onto the players on the sandbags, but the damage is one thing. Optic still want to push. TriPPPeY doing an amazing job to get one kill in that situation, with 3 players from Optic flying towards B.
So far the bait has actually worked. It's 2 dead. They do have the man advantage still, but Bound with his shields recharging here. In a momentary 1v3 or so at green. We'll see what he can do. Nicely timed by FaZe yet again.
Optic managed to convert for just a second. FaZe will take it back off of them.
Big work from TriPPPeY there to stay alive the way he did. He was essentially in a 1v3 for about 20 seconds.
Formal just got 2. Formal might be getting a triple kill. And Formal once again creates the space for Optic to jump back into B.
Enemy team score.
And start scoring again themselves. It is so tight, this game.
And how difficult is it with this Optic gaming roster? Feels like you do all the work you need. You take down every single member, but the last player alive time and time again is going to play spoils to whatever advantage you might have had. And Formal not done, still racking up even more kills as the AB hold will continue.
One thing to note here is nobody is really having like a crazy performance out on the Optic side. It's actually Falcated, who's 18-9 on the FaZe side, who is having a big slaying performance from them. Optic really have outslayed FaZe the majority of the time, but with the triple cap momentarily in effect, the scoring is what really matters for them. FaZe starting to pick up a couple of kills though. But a 157 and 132, FaZe is going to have to do more than they've been doing so far.
Nice drop from FaZe once again if they can close out B here, but with 2 falling, it's actually going to be an Optic B reset for a moment. And now 3 dead, 4 dead for FaZe. It's a devastating point in the game when Optic already leads here by 30.
And I mentioned how there hasn't really been a triple cap. Well, now we have the triple cap. Optic Gaming control A, B, and C. And keep your eyes on that score, because it is only going to go one way. It is flying towards 200 points.
Lots to talk about with what Renegade just did, but to be honest, the game's moving too fast. We'll break it down afterwards. Another kill comes in. Now, in a 1v2, it's Renegade, who has to stay alive. Top middle, snipe popping now.
Smartly decides, as tempting as it was, to wait that extra seconds with no shields.
Enemy team.
He's going to wrap around.
But instead, he's going to go for the wrap. He gets spotted out. One bullet gives away his position. Lqgend is going to collect that snipe rifle, I think, top middle for Optic Gaming. Indeed he is, and Optic are going to make a play on the ends of the map here to try and take A! Lqgend again with a whip shot, bodies a second, sets him up! TriPPPeY wins the fight though. How big could that be? 3 dead for Optic.
A must win there for TriPPPeY.
Gets the reset as well.
The reset on A and keeps them just at the 200 point mark. This kill would be big as well to keep the spawn staggered.
Oh! He does it! Big plays from TriPPPeY, and FaZe will need more of those. Formal going to challenge as well. It's a triple cap now for FaZe, but Lqgend with the pick should be able to get A control back for Optic, but FaZe will keep scoring.
TriPPPeY going to just retreat with the snipe. Hope he can get a pick. Hope he can get the opening damage. B spawn's coming in. Bound's already up top mid, by the way.
TriPPPeY with the no-scope. But Optic really looking to play the other side of the map. They want to try and play for C here. So Presti's on the tower, trying to buy as much time as he can. Lqgend doing good damage, but elsewhere, look at FaZe. They're playing for A, but Optic get the reset somehow. TriPPPeY gets a kill with that sniper rifle. Lqgend with his camo is dancing around, trying to survive. Oh, TriPPPeY gets the beat down, can't get through the QT, but at least keeps C momentarily in control. The kill's now getting picked up. FaZe will control B and C still. 2v2
on the map. That snipe was down back mud. I don't think it had too much ammo left. Look at B and C both being capped here, and now a lead change as FaZe will lead 204 to 200.
So the big moments in the series have been won the majority of the time by Optic Gaming. This is one of those big moments. What happens in the next 30 seconds will decide which side will be celebrating on our main stage when this game is done. B has been flipped by Optic, and now they have control of C as well. They will be the team scoring, but Falcated, with that stick, creates an opportunity for FaZe to move towards B.
Optic Gaming scoring yet again. Now they will go.
Big flank from Bound.
Into a narrow lead. Here they come to green.
Falcated is flying in as a solo here at the back of green. Lqgend was no shields. Bound! Perfect shots from him. TriPPPeY last alive. B will be defended. TriPPPeY trying to do what he can. Stays on! Stays on the map and gets traded out here by Formal. Desperate times now for FaZe. They have to push B here.
Very good timing there for Formal. Knows he needed to go to green to get the last kill just in case TriPPPeY got it. And he did now. Still holding AB, and they look to hold back green.
First pick though is Pznguin. Oh! Up into the skies goes Formal. Lqgend there to join him. Pznguin flies through though. 2 dead for Optic Gaming. An opportunity maybe for FaZe to look to cap B here. But it's going to be Lqgend inside of B, in the pit, who will slow down FaZe, pick up the double, and elsewhere at C, they will convert it, and Optic Gaming will close out game number 1.
And the Optic fans in the room, very happy to see Optic Gaming picking up exactly where they left off. And it was a well-fought game from the side of FaZe. You could say certainly one of their best games of the grand final so far, but that's largely due to the fact that Optic Gaming has simply been dominating every game, and that game was really worth more than the sum of its parts. That game is going to give a lot of momentum to continue the Optic Gaming run here in your second best of 7.
The big moments in big games. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't get bigger than a bracket reset in a grand final. And it's Optic when the game is essentially tied up at around 2-10 apiece, whose next 30 seconds are better than FaZe's. And that is what gives them a chance to close that game out. FaZe putting up a fight, but Optic showing that championship moments are going their way.
And I think for FaZe fans, lots to be proud of, lots to be happy about, but in the end, it's really our end game score that is all that's going to matter, and most importantly, it's another win in the Optic Gaming category. Like you said, Optic Gaming making it so difficult for every single FaZe push, and always making sure that they had the last member in to get the final trade or the last kill, just to make sure they're getting the resets. Worth noting, we saw FaZe tie the game up, get the lead actually at 204 to 200.
Yeah.
Once again, neck and neck with them till the late game, but Optic Gaming is showing not just ice, but specifically late game ice that has been unmatched this weekend so far.
Take a look at some of the highlights here. Falcated got out to a really good start here for FaZe Clan. A couple of plays in and around A for Optic. Again, the moments, it went their way. But I think the one thing that maybe FaZe will look back on this game was it took a little bit of time sometimes to think about what they wanted to do once they got a double cap. It felt like they were playing the safe option, play for the 2, look for the pick, instead of progressing up the map.
Big play from Renegade.
And looking for a triple cap themselves. But like you say, those kind of plays in and around A, that one from Renegade in particular, and a reset here from Bound, just those extra seconds, it makes the difference when you get towards the final score.
It really does. It's like they say, be like a pillar. Renegade took it literally,
Who says that?
and he, you know, be a pillar of this team, be a pillar of the community.
Okay.
Renegade was like, I will actually be a pillar, and I'm going to pretend that I
took it
I am
literally.
part of this piece of stone. And it worked out very well for him. TriPPPeY was an important 1v1 there, but it felt like that was the story. FaZe kept winning key 1v1s to just stay alive, but not enough in the end. I'm glad you like that one.
Yeah. First man to take be a pillar, literally. Anyway, Slayer Origin is our game number 2.
Big brain Halo there.
And I'm going to keep harping on about FaZe's record in Slayers. It wasn't great in the first series, but there wasn't much to talk about in the first series apart from the performance here on Origin. It was CTF that time around.
Yeah.
It was a 3-0 victory. And we are back on the same map, but this time it's much more simple for both teams. 50 kills, or whoever has the most after time, we've learned that this weekend, will be the winner.
Let's not forget the last 6 minutes of the game in favor of FaZe was dominant on this map. We'll see if they can do it again here in Slayer.
Pznguin, low shields, manages to get one though. Renegade picks up the rockets here for Optic Gaming. 3-2, make it 3-3, but Renegade with these rockets has got to decide he's going to play this one slowly or be aggressive. So Press is going to bait one out here on the cave. Renegade trying to find some angles. We'll get the clean up here onto Falcated. It's 2 dead here for FaZe. 5-3 the score for Optic.
Goes for the airstrike there. When you have that height and you're looking down to BR and Fountain, it's pretty easy to pick up one. That's exactly what he does. Lqgend also just bodying anything that moves at minimum. That will give them now just a narrow 7-5 lead.
TriPPPeY managed to sneak through the maze there and find one kill himself, but Lqgend will be in a position to surely clean this one up. Falcated down to no shields and plenty of sniper rifle ammo, excuse me, to work with still here for the Frenchman. But he doesn't need to use it at the moment because FaZe are falling all around him. It's a 4-kill advantage here for Optic. And now that they're all respawning together, Lqgend has a chance to really put pressure on these spawners.
Yeah, already such a great start for Optic Gaming. Textbook, really. Rocket control, now the top cat snipe control, almost the fadeaway. Like I said, though, he generally doesn't miss twice. Hits the body on the second player now as the kills are traded out.
4-1 off the rip here for Lqgend. Just the one death. But he's going to get flanked here. That Commando peppering away at him. Needs some help from Formal, who responds accordingly. try and trade this kill out. Falcated will survive a few seconds longer than he needs to, but Formal will finally not only get the kill, but recycle the sniper back to himself. And Optic Gaming, a killing spree here for Formal. That's 5 without response.
Thought Suppress might be top rocks. Now he knows they're trenched. Look at the awareness there from Formal. Knew exactly where they had to be if they weren't top rocks, and then even lives to tell the tale and relay the info as he so often does.
Great reticle placement from him as well! That one's even better! Pznguin challenges bomb middle, gets bodied as well. Formal continuing to output maximum damage every time we're on his POV.
Putting on a show here. It's another Optic chant, now a green wall chant. And you've got a potent combo here for Optic Gaming. Not only are they playing the way they have been all Championship Sunday, but you've got the hometown Dallas crowd. You've got all the Green Wall Halo fans, and as Lottie mentioned, all of the Call of Duty fans of Optic also now crowding in standing room only. A lot of support for this Optic Gaming team here as 3 fall for FaZe Clan yet again.
The power weapons have been controlled completely and utterly by Optic as well. As I say that, Pznguin will pick up one rocket that was used by an Optic member and have a chance to at least find himself an easy fight. 23-15 isn't a score that's out of control here, though, for FaZe, as silly as it sounds. Origin, one of those maps where you can start to put big runs together, but with 3 dead, FaZe have got to do a little bit better than they are at the moment. Optic continuing to extend this lead as the snipe pops again.
Formal, the man on your screen, he's already 9-3 in this game as they lead 26-18. Let's get into a listen-in now with Optic Gaming.
Third BR, blue BR, blue BR, blue BR, blue BR, blue BR, blue BR, let's go. He's one shot blue basement actually. He's one shot blue basement on the left pillar. Blue basement left side bound. He's still there bound, still there bound. Don't you go.
Okay, right over, right over. Red flag, red window, man, red window. Red window. You're two red, guys.
Yo, one shot red window, Falcated going, sitting on the, he's on the window, he's sitting on the window still. And John blue BR onto you, John blue BR, John blue BR. He's flanking maze already.
Nice, shit, every.
Red window, foul, What's on you, John? What's on you?
Blue sniper, and two snipes. Nice, two snipes every.
Red oven, which snipe? Yes, snipe red oven.
Are we gonna slow this down a little bit?
Yes, snipe red oven.
Show me. One top snipe also.
Blue maze.
Red oven, one shot. Red oven,
one shot, blue silver, press. Blue maze, trippy weak.
Yeah, but Butter guy's sniping,
Watch it.
Another impressive run from Lqgend while we were in the listening. You can hear the Optic. The other players were very appreciative of what they were seeing from his POV.
Yeah, I mean, how so easy to get gassed up on this team when you're looking over and you're seeing just players pull off unbelievable clips time and time again. Also love what we heard from Lunchbox there, even though they were leading about 32-24 or so. You still hear Lunchbox saying, let's slow it down right now. Even though they probably could have gotten away with just holding down the gas pedal, making sure that they're making all the right plays here, despite the large lead now by 10.
14-6 for Formal. Just patrolling around the map at the moment, picking up kill after kill, off the damage from his teammates and immediately putting pressure onto spawners. Poor old Pznguin gets his feathers ruffled as he comes off of the respawn. Renegade and Bound are going to find 2 now, and Formal looking to move in. Collapse onto these last 2 remaining members of FaZe is 41-30. Optic look primed to be 2 up in this series.
Finally gets pinned down from the other side, but at least 2 of those do get cleaned up. So now it's still a 12-kill lead, 43-31. Rocks popping up right now.
Lqgend 14-7 as well. Make that 15. Adds another one to the tally. It's a battle between Formal and Lqgend at the moment to see who finishes this game with most kills.
If you're an Optic fan, it's a good battle to watch.
Rockets are up. 4 kills to go now for Optic Gaming to put themselves within 2 of becoming champs.
Nades coming in. Renegade gonna try to fight from the elbow and somehow does. Shields are coming back, so he might be down to fight even more here. Finally gets pinched into 2v1. However, just 3 kills to go for Optic Gaming.
16-8 for the man on your screen, the Frenchman, having a huge impact on a grand final once again. Make it 17, 1 to go for Optic. TriPPPeY will challenge, he will get the kill, but it's Formal who closes out the Slayer. And the bricks are starting to stack up here for the green wall. They get closer and closer as they go up 2-0 in our bracket reset.
We talked a lot about how the first grand final felt an awful lot like Arlington's first grand final. We can now say officially that the second grand final does not feel like Arlington. What was a very back and forth, evenly matched game between Shopify and Optic just a few weeks ago in grand final number 2 It's a very different series layout than what we are seeing so far, as Optic Gaming will take their second game of the grand final, their 6th overall, and now only be 2 games away from taking home an early championship on Championship Sunday.
50-39, the final score. Falcated, the only player to go positive on the side of FaZe Clan. On the other side, it was Formal and Lqgend who were in a race, it felt like, to see who could get the most kills. 17-9 coming in from Lqgend. And how many times have we talked about Lqgend having big Slayer game performances in really critical times of series? Another example of it here.
We're also seeing, I think, Lqgend time and time again, by the way, Formal, of course, 16-10. Not too shabby for him either. We're seeing Lqgend time and time again playing even more clinical Halo. With every time we're on his POV, he's not making mistakes. And beyond that, like we saw throughout the series so far, he is squeaking out extra damage, if not extra kills or 2, that he should not be, especially up against the team in the grand finals.
This little run from Formal was a joy to watch as well. Yeah. Unless you're a player on the receiving end of that kind of shot that causes your Spartan to do the backflip that you don't want to be on the receiving end of. But he was just doing such a good job of just finding routes to clean up damage Formal in this little run. You can see everyone he's looking at is weak, suppressed, weak, moves in. Teammate already cleans that one up. Falcated moving towards him. He's already taken some damage. That's an indication of how well the unit is working here, which makes Formal's job so easy.
Perfectly timed here. Lqgend just waits for all the damage. Gets the call out. Oh, this as well, right? To not trade and just stay alive, just sit here in cave. I mean, it's plays like this that really sum it up. Because guess what? It's Formal who flies in. Easily get the last trade against TriPPPeY and close it out. As you said, 17 and 16 kills respectively for the 2 men on the end of the stage. And Optic Gaming will take a 2-0 series lead, overall leading 6-1 so far.
2 to go here for Optic to call themselves champions, to go back-to-back. And you got to wonder if FaZe have got something left in the tank here.
Exactly.
Because this, like you say, 6-1 overall at the moment. And some of those games haven't been close.
They have not been. And it feels like FaZe needs something similar to Game 4 of Series 1 to get back in here, get some sort of mental edge, or at least an ounce of confidence to get back into these games, because despite being neck and neck at different points in these games, the end game has been very clear for Optic Gaming. Next up is going to be CTF Aquarius.
Game type that everybody knows and loves. One of the most iconic ones in Halo Infinite, but also probably the closest to the iconic game type that we have in the Halo history books. Yeah, classic arena map. CTF, get it back to your base, first to 5 caps. Almost caps after time, will win that one. I think maybe one good thing here for FaZe is there's not power weapons to worry about in this situation. It's all about the bandits.
Also, interestingly, because we can look ahead to a guaranteed game number 4 minimum, that is King of the Hill Solitude. And we already saw Lqgend and Optic Gaming put on a show in that game type, slowly picking apart their opponents. And that's the man on your screen. We've been talking about his discipline, his approach. And it's hard to think of another player. There's a very, very few. You think of the Snipe Downs of the world. And honestly, not many other names on that list who have ascended the ranks the way that this man has.
Continues to write his own history at the moment. And he's doing it under the banner of Optic Gaming as well. Really has been
little smile there. Tiny bit of a smile.
Even Lqgend smiling at this point. Someone said something to make him laugh. I mean, my favorite thing about Optic Gaming as well is we go back to the Space Station days where Lqgend joins, and he was just known as Lqgend in the player comms. Yeah. But now they're saying Sabri.
Yeah, it's a great point.
It's good friends now.
Yeah, it's a really great point. Through. It used to be bounce comms where Lqgend do this, Lqgend do that. And now instead it's just holy expletive. Nice, Sabri. Nice work. As he picks up another snipe kill.
Like the idea that he finally went into bounds room and went, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, my name.
Sabri, good to meet you. He's been there for 4 months.
Here we go then.
Suppressed and TriPPPeY on your screen. They're going to need big performances from both of these players here, FaZe, if they want to keep this series going. 1.32 on the side of Suppressed, 1.39 on the side of TriPPPeY. Remember, the CTF was the one game that FaZe managed to take in that first series. They're going to need it now. Otherwise, the road looks too treacherous for them to come back.
And FaZe is also going to need to shake off what happened in Aquarius last time these two teams met, because y'all remember it was a blender of industrial strength that they found themselves in. First 2 kills and a camo right away, going to Optic Gaming off of the opening.
All the control of this power-up has been all Optics. It's that team fight beforehand that really does decide which way this goes. Falcated trying to get that kill on Will, so the camo will be taken down straight away. That's stage 1 of getting a little bit of map control complete here for FaZe.
2 dead here for Optic, though, for an opportunity for FaZe to get some aggression. 3 dead now.
TriPPPeY's running that flag. And Fal, he's trying to watch for these overextenders on the respawn as well. And I tell you what, this could be a hot start coming in for FaZe. They need to take a second here as Pznguin has fallen. You can't let this moment slip. You can't let this moment slip though if you're FaZe. Val's going to try and jump on this return. TriPPPeY makes the right plays, gets the touch, but Lqgend, who else but Lqgend? Gets the double kill, gets another.
4 dead. This should
But
be
it's going to be everybody in the death screen, and FaZe do not let that opportunity slip. They will put the first flag in.
Nicely done. It's a really good bait and switch. They're also just, as you said, the timing there on the util. It got nervy for a second, without a doubt, but being able to isolate that kill, and how about TriPPPeY going into the util corner to get the back whack on Renegade? Without that play, that flag goes straight back to the Optic base. As you said, it's FaZe Clan, who leads 1-0 off the opening.
3 dead here for FaZe though. Optic looking a little bit pissed off of how that first few moments went. They haven't bled too many times in this series, and the immediate hot start is being responded to by this run coming in from Renegade. Bound picks up a kill in the feed. Suppress is going to have to watch this flag be run from the death screen. Renegade knows that things are a little bit too quiet there. Turns around, does a little bit of damage, but Pznguin will cut down the run.
Interesting angle. Pznguin gets to car 1 because he knew he had to take the car 1 angle. I like the play from Renegade, but Pznguin, was wise to it. 3 dead here for FaZe Clan.
Going to be able to get this return pretty comfortably. Nobody off the respawn yet to challenge it. As the camo comes up as well. Lqgend's in a really sneaky position, actually. The damage came in from Formal just to cut that player down. Well, it will be collected here by FaZe. Yes, it will. Suppressed will get that camo.
And now with the camo play and a 1 flag lead, let's get into an early listening here with FaZe Clan.
Guys, go on the street.
I don't see anything. Yo, one's car 1. One's car 1 to Lqgend. He's a combo Lqgend. Combo Lqgend.
Okay, that's him.
He's okay. One was Lqgend. Nice nade. Hit him with that. Weak.
What's our Lqgend? Do 2 there.
Okay, two.
Lqgend. Nice, that's green gun down there. Our Lqgend now. He's going for that green gun. Going back to car. Come back to you.
Our connector.
Come in, car 2.
Watch out, blue connector.
Nice,
blue
Mike.
connector, going blue gen. Mike Chow, you call one.
Here, I'm behind him. I'm behind them. I'm behind these guys.
Still blue gen, guys.
Yo, front base. Watch out. Car jump.
You guys talking, Joy?
Yo, low. Watch out, car 1 on me.
They're Peter in. I'm coming.
Watch out, Lqgend. Absolute Lqgend. Nice.
I'm
me strips.
Maybe 2 here.
I'm me. 2 dead. I want 2 dead. He's like back flag or something. 2 there. Back flag. I hear that. Got 1.
They're first half.
2 shot, there's flag. 2 shot.
2 shot, Donnie.
2 shot on the beer. He's top trims. Dead.
Nice. 3 I'm trying to look.
3 dead.
Where?
I don't see Jen.
Right.
Slip.
P1 right now. Watch out, Jen. P1. Weak Jen. Lqgend. One shot, Jen. Absolute Jen still. One was our P1, guys.
You guys are brick.
I died.
Hear that? Going car 3. Okay, going car 3. Car 3 after that. Car 3, Mike. Car 3.
Let's go, Mike.
Car 3, Mike. Car 3 still. One was car 3.
Nice,
Car 3. Watch out, car 3. Watch out, car 3. Let's go, car 2 or something.
FaZe sounded pretty cool and calm and collected about things, and even though they got that flag all the way back and a triple kill from Falcated, Optic will get the return on it. It still stands at 1-0 here.
Yeah, huge return there. You thought for a second they were going to keep that flag alive. They're not able to do it. However, as you said, we heard Royal One talking about it yesterday. It's amazing to hear the calmness and the clarity in those comms. For a lot of people, it might have sounded too quiet, but this is how FaZe likes to play. We'll see if they can maintain this lead. However, it's not going to be easy with 2 dead and Renegade now pushing with the camo.
10-7 at the moment for Renegade in this game. On the other side is Falcated leading the way for kills, 10-6 for him. We're on the POV to watch him collect quite a few of those in the last few moments as well. But Renegade just looking to spot out some FaZe Clan members at the moment who are just toed up in and around that fridge. They want to try and play for a trade on this camo. And that's the thing that Renegade doesn't want to do. Doesn't get the beat down, gets 1. But that's the trade that FaZe wanted in that situation.
Gets a good camo trade there to stack 2 players' fridge. And Optic kind of forced into that play, and Renegade was trying to find any easy pickings, but they were hard to come by. Even though FaZe loses another member, they're going to have to fight out of their base again.
Almost got a flank here as well. Checks his corners. Runs it into a FaZe wall. 3 players inside of the base. Respawn's going to reinforce the players as well at the back of the base. So FaZe, with 2 dead now for Optic, will be able to step out.
It's a good double team there, and there's a few things to talk about. Firstly, I think Optic was a little impatient compared to the other times that we've seen them play Aquarius. 7 minutes left on the clock, still a lot to play with, but I think also worth noting that FaZe did really well to time the entry on the pink door immediately. They make sure to 2v1 it without wasting any time. They were much more isolated in their pushes when we saw them play Aqua last time. However, after those exchanges, it was 3 dead for FaZe Clan.
1v1 on the map momentarily there. Both players on opposite sides of the map. FaZe still with this 1 flag advantage. Now trying to hunt down a couple of overextenders. One of the big Falcated. He will confirm that kill and now takes the 1v1, which will be traded out. 2 dead on either side of the stage at the moment. Formal looking to push it into the FaZe base though. He'll find TriPPPeY, he'll get the kill, and he's got some support here to think about a flag run.
Good pre-nades as well. That's going to lock off bridge. Flag doesn't quite go out just yet, and to be honest, loses just a little bit of time with that flag not going off the stand, and it's 2 dead for Optic as a result.
The respawners just came in on the fridge there that made that a little bit of an awkward decision about where to run that for Formal. I think initially he wanted to try and run it down the middle and spawn them in and around each other in that gen, but the split spawns came in. LOS was too easy for FaZe to just cut down that run. Formal and Renegade will pick up a couple more, and another camo goes to Optic here. How many times can FaZe let this slip through their fingers?
Yeah, FaZe has done so well in CTF so far and across these series. Continued, as you said, camo control coming in now. 2 were dead. The flag is already running here, but suppresses top mid. Very important role.
The Lqgend got around the corner. And now you're going to see Bound with his camo and Suppress last alive. He's top middle. He's taking damage from Bound. Bound will clean the kill up. 4 dead. Here for FaZe Clan. Respawn is trying to do what they can, but it will be Optic. He'll tie the game up. 1-1 now. But they've got to avoid this counter cap as FaZe pick up a couple of kills themselves.
Nicely done there for Lqgend. He does not wait for his shields to recharge. Renegade, last player alive here for Optic, and now FaZe will continue with the aggression.
Minutes remaining.
Just under 5 minutes left in this game. Bound wins his 1v1 versus Pznguin. And now Bound is taking his turn to be the kill leader for Optic Gaming. He's 14-9 in this game. Takes the 1v1 with TriPPPeY. A little bit of a jiggle around that wall. He's so elusive.
Man, look at this.
They just cannot deal with him. They cannot finish him off. 2 dead. Optic have him for 1. Look where the last 2 players are. The flag is running as well. Lqgend finds 2. Optic will run this one in as well. They're going to turn this game around. It's 2-1 to Optic.
And Mark, you called it. It was a little bit too close for comfort the entire time that FaZe was up by that 1 flag. It's going to be a staggered 3 dead for the side of FaZe, and Optic will continue with the pressure. They back-to-back cap, despite trailing for about 5.5 minutes of play.
Falcated gets taken down as well. Formal has an opening, and he doesn't need to be asked twice. Picks up the double kill immediately. G slices flag across the map. Pznguin trying to overextend at the moment, but Formal's hitting slide after slide. And I think he might have the timing here on Pznguin. Doesn't even need it. Lqgend's picked up the kill, and it's 3-1 now. Optic essentially go back to back with their caps.
And it does not feel like very long ago when we were mentioning that it was not a comfortable enough lead, with Optic just knocking on the door and continued camo control. The 4th camo in a row. Still 3 dead for FaZe. 3-1 game. Optic Gaming. What a comeback in this one.
Renegade on the flank now, 18-12 for him, leading the assist as well. And he's like, hey, you know what?
This looks safe.
I trust my teammates to pick up the kills on the way back. The pink side of the map looks pretty open.
I'll leave this here for now.
Let's get this flag moving.
Love this from Renegade. Like you said, it's an unorthodox run, but he identified the gaps in the setup. However, both flags are away.
Goes on a killing spree. FaZe are trying to counter-cap this. Renegade's just trying to stay alive at the moment. Lqgend will find one in the feed. It's 3 dead for FaZe. That flag is still away.
I'll pull it again. Not to worry.
Now with the opening and FaZe still 2 dead. Renegade said, first time it didn't work. This time we'll try a little bit more of a traditional route.
He's like, actually, I'm going to leave that flag there. If you can send your flag back, I can run this one a lot easier. And here he comes. Both flags still away.
Brings it into the back of the base, but a little bit of a flag standoff here as 2v2 is where we find ourselves on the map. Renegade now actually last alive. FaZe do a great job of winning the fight on that pink side to give themselves a chance at getting this flag home. However, time is a problem here now for FaZe. 2 minutes 20 left on the clock. The longer this standoff goes on,
Optic loves this standoff.
the closer Optic are to winning. Renegade
wait and bait. It's a tricky corner, but does get spotted out by Fal. Fal gets that for free with minimal damage taken. Actually, no damage taken, so he's going to continue pushing up the map. He wants the standoff to end immediately.
Yeah, they need to go fast though. They need to get up onto the Optic base before Renegade respawns. Give themselves the numbers advantage. TriPPPeY finds one. Bound's going to go down as well. It's going to be 2 dead. Last player alive is Lqgend in the back of the base. He will fall as well. Double kill here for Falcated. The return will come in. And FaZe have that flag back at their base. Now, if they cap this one in the next few seconds, there's a chance for a double cap.
Enemy captured your flag.
They will put that one home to make it a 1 flag game. And Falcated was still alive. Finally, Renegade will take him down. That's such an important kill for Optic, just to stabilize it.
Very important kill, going to buy them just a little bit of time to push out of their own base. Most importantly, there's only 120 left in the game, so even though FaZe makes sure to end that flag standoff almost immediately, they need to do it again. They've only got 70 seconds or so to tie up the game and send us to overtime.
Kills like that from Renegade are going to make things even more difficult. Optic will continue to push up the map as well. They know they don't want to play this to 2 defensively and let FaZe take map control without being challenged.
Remaining.
And by picking up these kills, and by clearing this space, we are getting closer and closer to an Optic gaming win.
Essentially a 4 dead there that's staggered. We have Pznguin already and Suppress as spawners, but now with only 45 seconds left, FaZe really has just one last push at most to get a flag off the stand and keep it alive.
FaZe have got to go, they've got to go now, but they got 4 more up in Lqgend. Look how aggressive they're being here, Optic Gaming. There is an overextension coming in from Suppressed on the pink side. And TriPPPeY with that big win.
3 dead, 3
and
dead.
Pznguin with that kill.
Oh my.
There is an opening here for FaZe to run this flag. Suppress was the overextender and immediately starts moving this.
Wow, what an about face. He was about to hit a bottom mid run. Instead, he gets the call to get a gen run, and they're making it work here. However, TriPPPeY does fall.
TriPPPeY will fall. And they have to be careful that they get kills on the respawn here. It's not comfortable for Suppress. He knows that kills haven't been picked up. He will have to fight to secure this flag. Renegade's still the overextender. Falcated gets another one. Pznguin with the 1. There's 2 more players from Optic inside of the base. Suppress needs to get these kills. He finds 1. He'll get 2. TriPPPeY puts it in just in the last second. And we will go into overtime.
We said they had 1 push, and that is all they had. They make it count. And how about the overextension from Suppressed to be in the right place at the right time as they get 3 dead? And how about the play call? He was about to fly G-slide bottom mid with the flag. Instead, he hits a hard left turn into Gen, and the Gen run not only works, but they perfectly time the wait and the bait. They isolate Formal top middle. They get that kill, and even though they had to fight a difficult 2v2 in the back of the base against Lqgend and Renegade, they get the cap. However, it has only bought them overtime.
Overtime, next flag wins. Formal's got a camo, and I was about to say, I was a bit worried for FaZe, having done the hard work, that they might be able to see the game slip away, because the flag was moving, but Foul will make sure he secures that flag. Back at the base, both flags now.
Uh-oh.
So we have a reset on the map.
Formal was just picking them apart. Luckily, Falcated gets back to Shrooms to help TriPPPeY and Pznguin. In the end, he's taken down, however, so it's a 4v2 on the push. Oh,
big nade from Pznguin, but look at the push still coming in from Optic. Threat sensor goes down. They know the flag is clear. They know everyone's trapped on the P side.
Ooh.
FaZe do a really good job here. Really good job to trade that damage, get those kills.
They go for the mosh pit strategy. Just send bodies in there and start punching. And in the end, it works. They clear out their own base and allow themselves to now push out. 3 minutes 40 left in our overtime period. Of course, if we're still scoreless, we will go to another second sudden death overtime.
3 dead on the side of Optic. One more going to be last alive. Falcated trying to pressure it. Falcated a big win, but the spawns from Renegade has come in. Falcated will get the trade as well. It's 3 dead for Optic. Spawns do come in on the back flag though. Pznguin's going to have to fight again.
We have to mention here a 3 will fall for Optic Gaming, as we now have our biggest crowd of the weekend, unsurprisingly, for the grand finals. This is now officially in sudden death. Next flag will win the game.
Optic a little bit trapped at the moment. Camo coming up as well. And you can see that they're a little bit worried here, Optic, about that green gun as well. That's why TriPPPeY connects. But Bound and Formal combine to take him down. Now there's an exit strategy, especially when Lqgend starts perfecting people. 5 perfect shots to win his fight against Suppressed.
They get 2 dead fighting from the back of their base, but this is big. A huge, huge amount of responsibility on Falcated's shoulders with the camo. 2 dead. And this series is going to go 1 of 2 ways after this game.
Pznguin's there. Pznguin gets the kill. It's 3 dead for Optic Gaming. Pznguin with the start step might have actually kept him alive as the grenade will go slightly ahead of where he was planning that run. And we're in a similar situation to what we were a few moments ago. At the last seconds of the game, FaZe tie it up. They've got 1 kill onto Renegade. They've got 2 kills now as Bound will fall as well. Former will slow the flag down, but it's still 2 dead for Optic.
3v2 right here. Lqgend alive in the back of the base.
Former gets 2. FaZe are going to have to come off the respawn, and now they're pinched. Optic want a counter cap.
Uh-oh.
Renegade gets 1. Formal gets 1. The counter cap pieces are starting to fall together. It's 3 dead. It's 4 dead. It's 4 dead. FaZe will fall. Optic will counter cap. And Optic will go on 3-0 in our grand finals. 1 more game for the Green Wall. And they will be your HCS Open champions.
It has been all about the late game for Optic Gaming, and how many times have we seen them through this elimination bracket in a game 5, tied up at the end of a game, in an overtime. They have a different level of ice, it appears, and it shows once again. That flag all the way back to Util and FaZe with a 3v2 scenario, but this time it was Formal and Lqgend in the back of the base, and guess what? Renegade was off spawn, and he was a flying car 1 to pinch in Util. It's a clean 4 dead, and as you called, the flag was already way off the stand.
Big moments won by Optic once again. A lot of teams would have folded in that situation, especially after that last second regulation time tying cap from FaZe Clan. FaZe had everything they needed to win that game in that final moment in overtime. But Optic find a way. Take a look at some of these highlights, Andy.
He was trippy. Gets that nice back whack on Renegade. That was really what paved the way for, as we said, that first flag to come in. And despite the fact that we saw it 1-0 in favor of FaZe, it was not long before Optic got not 1, not 2, but 3 flags on the board.
And even though it was essentially back to back to back, FaZe didn't give up. FaZe showed some heart. FaZe showed that they still want to try and compete in this grand finals. This play from Falcated is so impressive as well. Just bides his time, Bound flies forward. That's 2 dead for Optic. And this is what starts the run for them. 3 dead. As the flag return came in from that flag standoff, but this was the play. The staggered run that came in from FaZe, suppressed with some big damage, having started that run. TriPPPeY with the cap. But
Here
this
it is.
is the
Look
moment.
at this.
This is the moment.
4v2 it was before Pznguin dies. So in a 2v4, Optic not only gets the stop and the pull, they also get the return and the run. And this is what we mean when we say backs against the wall. It was not just something where they got an easy 3 dead and pulled the flag. It was instead fighting from enormous disadvantage to win very key team fights in the back of the base. And now, once again, put another game on the board, undefeated in your grand final reset so far. And each of these games have been neck and neck at 200 or at 40 or at 3-3, but they've only gone one way.
TriPPPeY taking the opportunity to have a few Cheez-Its.
Surprising time for it, but hey.
It's never a bad time.
When hunger strikes, it strikes.
Here we go then. Optic Gaming, 1 game away.
Gotta watch out for the Cheeto dust. That's the biggest factor.
Yeah, but that's where the power is here for FaZe. 1 game to go for Optic Gaming to become your champions, to reset the bracket for the 2nd time this season. King of the Hill is where we find ourselves when it comes to game types. Solitude going to be the map. Do FaZe have something in store in what has been one of the most unpredictable tournaments up until today we've had in quite some time?
Yeah, and now a one-sided championship Sunday without a doubt. And now that Optic is only 1 game away from closing out the grand finals, you start to think, if Optic takes this tournament in this fashion, the story of the tournament changes. If someone asks about DreamHack 2025, the story will simply be Optic won again. All of the chaos of the weekend is forgotten. Can FaZe send us the distance in the series? That's the question here. Only one more game to go for Optic.
3 dead for Optic off the rip here. Pressure from Suppressed as well onto the final player. Nobody stepping in that hill as yet, as FaZe will finally dip their toes in. Suppressed still chasing down this final kill of Bound. Bound still alive, frustratingly. TriPPPeY finds 2 himself though, so TriPPPeY will actually turn 3, so that's 3 quick consecutive kills for the man in the screen who earns the POV.
You caught Optic's game earlier on this game type. It was an interesting one for a number of reasons. First of all, it was a masterclass from Lqgend in how to play this game type slowly and methodically. More importantly, though, it was a very low-scoring game. You'll remember we only had about 2 minutes left on the game clock as 3 fall, 4 fall for Optic Gaming. Renegade is your first spawner. It's going to be a loop spawn. Here they come on the press.
Renegade going to be challenging TriPPPeY here. Back-to-back 4 deads momentarily for Optic Gaming.
2 players yet to get a kill as well.
Almost half that hill has now been capped by FaZe. But Optic making this a little bit scrappy. 2v2 right now, and inside of the hill is going to be Formal, who actually finds a double kill. From bottom middle, Renegade coming in to give him a little bit of support, and will do so. That's 3 dead for FaZe. And Optic, for all the good work and slaying that FaZe have done early on, are inside that bottom middle hill, and have 2 FaZe members dead as they go into a lead.
And you, just like you said, somehow with 2 dead, Formal pulls off a double kill off screen. And Lqgend's not done yet. Now Optic takes the lead on the first hill.
Ammo picked up here by Optic as well. It's going to be Formal who grabs that power up. Not for the first time. I feel like I've said that sentence in this series. 3 dead again for FaZe. Playing with no shields. Easy pickings here for Renegade.
Still 3 dead. 2 players spawning here on loop. Renegade knows it. He's just going to do enough damage and probably scurry away and let the team watch the angles. It is once again textbook as Optic closes out the first hill momentarily. The first one likely going on the board here.
They flush him out momentarily, but FaZe are 2 dead. Lqgend's going to step inside that hill bottom middle. Formal finds the double. FaZe have to watch the point go in from the respawn screen as well, because all 4 members of FaZe fall at exactly the same time. It's 1-0 to Optic. They win the rotate, and they're just looking like they're marching to victory now.
Yeah, and the wait and bait even pays off in more ways than one, right? Not only do they get a few extra kills, they get the rotate, as you said, as well. And now already scoring 25% of the way done on the second hill. And Renegade is still being an absolute nuisance at 7 and 5.
3 dead for Optic, 4 dead. Potentially, if Bound is taken down here by TriPPPeY. So something here for FaZe. They do manage to break the setup. Pznguin in the 1v1. Top middle, Formal wins it. A double kill again. Just when you feel like FaZe are getting something going in this game, someone like Formal steps up. I mean, you can pick your name on this Optic Gaming roster for who it is.
Jeez, look at this.
But there's always someone who just evens the numbers with a huge play.
Above the comms there, he knew exactly where he was behind the palm tree. Able to pick up 1, but now going to be a tall order. Lots of damage regardless, though. 2v2 on the map.
FaZe still inside of that hill. Lqgend trying to move in on some damage. Nope's out of there. Pznguin will pick him off though. FaZe still in control of this hill.
Good progress once again from FaZe, but still work to do. With 2 dead though and Camo popping, this is a big opportunity for them to not only get this hill, but really find a way back into the game and the series if you're a FaZe fan.
Camo popping up as well. TriPPPeY no shields inside of the hill, but so is Lqgend. Lqgend wins it, but gets traded out immediately by Falcated. 3 dead on the side of Optic Gaming. FaZe will secure this yard hill. We are tied up at 1-1. Camo's still up.
Yeah. That's the question. Camo's still up here. Formal's actually going to hold posters for a second, but eventually enough time had elapsed, unsurprisingly, that the damage had come in. Another free kill, so 2 dead. And there should be a late Camo grab coming in momentarily.
Oh, it's a triple for Falcated though. And TriPPPeY will get the Camo off the back of it.
Needs to be careful here.
Enemy team took the hill.
Regardless, a very big hill and a very big Camo grab. FaZe Clan is right back in this one.
Ball and Optic a trap though. Look at the damage. FaZe trying to move in through the blue area here of the map to try and flush these players from Optic out, who have now rotated just to try and survive towards the yard. Renegade has no idea that TriPPPeY's here. Easy pickings for him. Bounce top middle, a double kill for TriPPPeY. Formal is on the truck. Breaks some shields, but it's going to be Falcated who breaks his heart there. It's going to be 2v2 on the map. FaZe still with control.
Worth noting, that's the first time Formal was in a 1v2 as the last player alive and didn't win it in this game. That's the kind of danger that he's been posing to this FaZe Clan team. Val doing everything he can to stay alive. FaZe looking good in the 3rd hill as well.
To get picked off though. Bound looking to deal with TriPPPeY. Last player alive is going to be suppressed now as Renegade would deal with TriPPPeY. Bound can take a second here just to get his shields back before moving in.
Look at the play from suppressed. It's taken down though in the end.
Pulse wasn't enough in that situation. Optic still can't get near this hill though. Finally they do step into it.
If that hits a little bit differently and those two players get sent bottom mid and suppressed stays alive and spawns teammates blue, that could have been very different. One dead for each side now.
Beautiful grenade there from Bound.
Bowls it in.
Shock rifle coming up as well. And the camo picked up by Optic again.
Burned. 2 dead for both sides here. Shock is up. You can already tell Lqgend trying to keep an eye on that. It will be FaZe and will have the advantage in terms of the option to grab. They will, and we'll see what they can do here. Just all tied up here on the third hill. So much riding on where this hill goes because the game clock is at 1:30.
Falcated has a little flank around the side here. You can see that Optic were trying to keep control of blue. They wanted those spawns, but they've given a lot of the map up here to the rest of FaZe. Falcated finds that kill. 3 dead here for Optic Gaming. Renegade gonna challenge. But nobody's still able to get close enough to that hill. It's a real battle at the moment just to get enough control to be able to step into it safely.
And just like the last time we saw Optic play this game, it's going to go down to time. It's 1-1 here, still tied up with exact progress marks essentially, and only 60 seconds left on the clock. These next few kills will determine where the game goes.
Okay, and the patience pays off. It's 4 dead for Optic. Finally, FaZe can make their way towards that hill and step inside of it. One more push here for Optic. And Falcated lines up Bound. And that could be a game-winning shot from him.
Trying to stay alive here on S4 if he's able to. They might be able to close it out. They need more kills, however, still 2 dead. They might be able to close it out here.
Doubling up on this hill. Lqgend's trying to fly through the hotel. Pznguin does die inside of that hill. Renegade finds one. Bound finds another. Bound finds 2. Falcated's on his own. Optic with a huge, brilliant last-second push to break the hill.
Once again, it's Lqgend behind enemy line. Somehow stays alive in hotel while the rest of the team causes chaos around dip and driveway. And Optic Gaming might steal this right here and right now.
40 seconds left on the game clock. Optic have control of the map. FaZe felt like they were destined for a win here, but Instasplode coming in. Lqgend picking up a perfect as well elsewhere means that Optic still have control of this hill. Optic can't get it done quite yet, but are now moments away.
With 3 dead, Renegade here and Formal going to work together. All they need is one more tick, and they're okay with time ticking down here. They can wait, and they can get this hill even late. Formal's going to go with camo.
Formal's going to move in. He's playing it patient. He's waiting for the camo to come back. He steps in, secures the hill, and Formal might have secured another championship here for Optic Gaming.
Could very well be the game-winning hill and the tournament-winning hill. 14 seconds left. FaZe Clan needs to start controlling right now. It's 2 dead for Optic. It's still possible.
FaZe are inside of the hill, so the clock will stop. But one break, one push from Optic.
Not even.
And this will be their championship. Pznguin and TriPPPeY trying to do what they can. Formal challenging everybody in front of them. He knows it's done. He gets another kill. And Optic Gaming will be your champions.
And you see it there from the green wall as they rush the stage. Back to back for Optic Gaming in one of the wildest tournament brackets we've seen in Halo Championship Series history. The end result is the same. It's a new adversary, but it's the same champion. Optic Gaming will go back to back.
DreamHack, give it up to your champions who have fought their way through the elimination bracket once again. Your champions, Optic Gaming.
And what a way to do it, even though it's another win in a second best of 7. It is a completely different set of game types. Optic Gaming looking so dominant, and it is once again the same story that despite a closely fought and well-contested battle down to the end game, it's Optic Gaming that finds a way to squeak out a win in the final moments.
Unbelievable things from Optic Gaming. Yet again, another weekend, another tremendous journey through the elimination bracket, doing the absolute unthinkable. Elimination round 1, folks. They built their way up, having to take down so many different Titans on their path. You really cannot put it against them in Formal. You can tell how much this one also means to him. I think he's just really happy with a streak at this point that isn't a second place. It's a streak of first, and it's a streak of greatness, Wes.
This is a completely different story from Arlington, in my opinion, for Formal, because he talked about in the interview post the win in Arlington about how he didn't know if he had it anymore. To me, Formal was the MVP of this grand finals. He was the MVP for this Optic team this weekend. An unbelievable tournament, and that grand finals was pure and utter domination. This team, when they formed, there were questions. They are exactly who we thought they were.